Hello guys and welcome back to my channel. This video is going to be a brief and basic guide about your protection warrior in patch 7.2. I'm enjoying my warrior tank very much. It is a spec that is pretty interesting because you can do massive amounts of damage and the playstyle is also very engaging. The better your rotation, the more rage you will generate and therefore more ignore pains, which will result in more damage. All in all, the protection warrior is a fun and engaging spec. It does take a lot of skill if you want to get the maximum amount out of your warrior. In this video I will only discuss the Devastator talent build because in my opinion it's the only way to play protection warrior. As always, we will start with the stats, followed by the relics, legendaries, trinkets and what talents to pick depending on the fight and the content that you wish to do. We'll end in style with the rotation. The stats of the protection warrior. Strength, then haste to help out with your global cooldowns. I would try and reach 30%, but it's a very hard number to reach at the moment, to be honest, especially with the tier set from the Nighthold. But just keep in mind that there is that haste cap. Next up is Mastery. Mastery is very good as it increases our chance to critically block. It also increases our attack power, the ability to block, and the amount of damage that we can mitigate with Ignore Pain. Next we have Crit, which basically means more damage. And finally, last but not least, Versatility, which increases healing and damage done, but also reduces our damage taken. Let's take a look at our relics. So the protection warrior will always benefit the most from his weapon when its focus is on reaching the highest item level possible. So long story short, always aim for the highest item level relic. Only then can you have a look into a relic that maybe gives you more damage, like Rage of the Fallen or Shatter the Bones for example. If you're looking for more survivability, make sure to check out the Dragon Skin relic. Let's go over the best legendaries. I'm going to point out which ones are good for raiding and Mythic Plus. The legendary hands are the only legendary that increases our DPS because it provides us with more rage. The legendary bracers helps to reach some nice self-healing in situations where healing would not otherwise be incoming. When using the Devastator talent, which you should by the way use almost all the time, you'll become highly powerful in protecting yourself from steady incoming damage. The Wall's Fell causes Shield Slam to reduce the remaining cooldown of Shield Wall by 4 seconds. This is a huge cooldown reduction, making it overall a very good legendary. Thunder God's Vigor can be very strong, especially in Mythic Plus, where you find yourself fighting against multiple targets, allowing you to use Demoralizing Shout more often. It reaches a whole other level in combination with the talent Booming Voice. Sevus's Secret is considered a strong legendary when it can proc, but for raids its uses are limited. However, in Mythic Plus you can proc it on demand most of the time using Shockwave. All the other legendaries that I didn't mention aren't really much of a game changer. Next are the trinkets. As most of you guys know, there aren't many good trinkets in the Nighthold raid for tanks in general. More often than not, a stat stick is overall a better trinket for the warrior. A lot of trinkets from world bosses and Mythic Plus are better, but they do need to be warforged to be competitive with the Nighthold trinkets. I will put a list of the best trinkets in the description box down below. Okay guys, so in this part of the video I'm going to show you the talents and normally I would show you the rotation. But I'm going to show you the rotation through the eyes of me doing a Mythic Plus. That way you have a full understanding of how you should play the Protection Warrior. So for your first tier, tier 15 Shockwave, Stormbolt, Warbringer, it doesn't really matter which one you take, but most of the time you will see people play Shockwave or Warbringer. Shockwave will give you more control, while Warbringer is just your intercept now deals damage and stunning the target for 2.5 seconds. So I would say for more control, more interrupts, you can take Shockwave, or you can take Warbringer if you have already too much on your bars. You're saying, okay, Protection Warrior is already too much of a deal for me to keep track of all those cooldowns, and I just want to play it simple. I want to go for Warbringer. Then your second tier, Inspiring Presence is normally going to be your go-to pick almost all the time. If you want to have some self-healing on demand, just pure for yourself, you can take Impending Victory, but most of the time it's going to be Inspiring Presence. Safeguard is like more of a PvP talent in my eyes. Maybe you can intercept someone, causes them 30% of the damage that you take for them transferred to you. Then 345, Renewed Fury, Ignore Pain also enrages you, increasing all damage you deal by 10% for 6 seconds. So with the Vengeance Weaving, this is really good together with the Vengeance talent. Of course, when you're doing Mythic Pluses, Best Serve Cold is gonna be better. But then again, if you have Drought of Souls, you have for example the legendary Waste with Crackling Thunder, for instance, with the Thunderclap reducing the cooldown on your Demoralizing Shout. You can go with the overpowered damaging spec, which is Avatar, Booming Voice, maybe with Ravager or Anger Management, and then just doing as much damage as you possibly can. Because with Booming Shout, Demoralizing Shout also generates 60 rage and increases your damage you deal to the effective targets by 25%. So Avatar, Booming Voice with your Battle Cry, in combination with maybe Ravager, Anger Management, or this one, it will do so much damage. Then in your tier 60, it's gonna be personal choice again. If you want another taunt or your targets to move faster to you with taunt, but most of the time it's gonna be Bounding Strike, more movability, or Crackling Thunder. Crackling Thunder means just, like your radius of Thunderclap increases by 50%. Then tier 75. Devastator is going to be your go-to talent, guys, almost 90% of the time. Maybe when you're in the Night Hold and you have a boss that has like almost a one-shot mechanic, just to overcome the HP that you need, because Indomitable is a talent that increases your maximum health by 25% and the maximum effect of your Ignore Pain by 25%. Now you would say like that's amazing, but Devastator, it's better. Your auto attacks deal an additional X amount of damage, generate 5 rage, and have a 30% chance to reset the remaining cooldown on Shield Slam. This is really good, as Shield Slam extends the duration of our shield block. And also, as you guys can see, Devastator does a lot of damage, guys. Devastator, if you let your auto attack hit the target all the time, and I can show you guys with the Weekaura real fast. So this is why I use Weekauras, because then you can track your auto attack. You will see Devastator does a lot of damage together with your Shield Slam and Revenge. So that is the reason why we play Devastator, for more rage, more damage, reducing your Shield Slam. The only time you want to play Indomitable is when you have that one-shot mechanic and you need more health. Then tier 90, like I told you guys, Vengeance with the Vengeance Weaving. Ignore Pain reduces the rage cost of your next Revenge by 35%. And the other way around also, Revenge reduces the rage cost of your next Ignore Pain by 35%. Into the Flay, you gain 33% haste for each enemy within 15 yards, up to 5 enemies. But I really recommend you guys, if you can play with Vengeance and you kind of have the basic idea of how it works, Vengeance is gonna be your best pick. And then Booming Voice for Mythic Pluses. In the 100 tier, Heavy Repercussions is gonna be the best pick. Shield Slam extends the duration of Shield Block by 1 second, and Shield Block increases the damage of Shield Slam by an additional 30%. So this is huge. This is a very good talent. Maybe you can take Anger Management if you have the idea that you're not getting enough, like Battle Cry, Last Stand, Shield Wall, all that stuff. Maybe Ravager for pure Mythic Pluses in combination with Booming Voice, Avatar, just for pure damage. But from a tanking standpoint, it's going to be Heavy Repercussions. Let's talk about the talents and the rotation. Like I said in the beginning of the video, I will only discuss the Devastator build. First things first, the basics of the Protection Warrior. Well, first off, we want to have Ignore Pain up as much as possible, because it's the ability that will mitigate the most damage for us. Secondly, we want to have Shield Block up as long as possible. When using Shield Slam, we will extend the duration of Shield Block by 1 second. Thunderclap should be used off cooldown, as it gives us 5 rage, and it's also a good tool for keeping aggro. Revenge is a strong melee attack, which becomes even stronger, but also harder when talented in Vengeance, giving us the all-known term of Vengeance Weaving, which basically means that our Ignore Pain reduces the rage cost of our next Revenge, and Revenge also reduces the rage cost of our next Ignore Pain. It is overall a difficult thing to track, especially when you are doing boss mechanics. It can get quite overwhelming at times. hence to the fact that I use Weekauras for my protection warrior, and I will put a link in the description box down below. Another important thing that I do want to highlight is of course our artifact ability. Neltharion's Fury acts like our shield block, but better in a sense. I would use this if you are getting a lot of damage while Ignore Pain is up. Of course, you don't want to use shield block at that time. Do keep in mind that knockbacks and loose control effects will cancel the duration of your artifact ability. Don't forget that you can use defensive abilities while it's active, like Shield Wall, Last Stand, Demoralizing Shout, Battle Cry, and so on. These are all the abilities that you should however be using depending on the situation that you're in. That's it for this video. Don't forget to like, comment, and of course subscribe. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.